Students, you are many of the times given the topic of visiting a place, and I'm sure you always prefer to visit a place which is full of greenery, which has got a water body, because these are the things which are directly connected to you. So even many of times you have been given homework, visit a place, especially zoo, then what is the best thing that you love is the natural surrounding. So let's talk about something very special to us, very important to us, and that is our forest. Now, the first one word that you get when you hear about forest is they are our lifeline. What are they? They are our lifeline. Okay, when I talk about the word lifeline, what do you mean by that lifeline? Anyone? Basically, we say the word, they are our green lungs. What are they? The green lungs. Now, you can discuss or you can just talk, think about why we call them as our green lungs. If you might have studied also that the green plants, they give out oxygen. They take carbon dioxide inside, and this thing, if this amount of oxygen which is given by the plant is not there, it will be really a very difficult. That's why wherever we see more of the trees, you see the surrounding is very serene, very clean, and you feel good. The reason is they are our green lungs. Right now, if at all you are told to visit a forest, what are the equipments that will be required? So your first activity here comes as the things, or you can say the equipments that are needed for visiting a forest. So you can say the things needed, or you can say equipments needed for a forest, right? So this is your activity 1. This is your activity. So now you will be writing them in the form of 1, 2, 3, 4, the series wise. What are the things that you require to know the everything that is present in the forest? When I talk about everything that is present in the forest, I mean to say mainly it is the plants and the animals, right children? So in the plants also, in the plants, when I say plants, what I say is the strata. What do you mean by the strata? You will see that there are very big trees, then you see that there are small ones, the shrubs, and then you have very small ones here. That means you get a kind of a canopy, or you can see the various strata in the forest. And again, that is also an activity that you have already studied, the kind of trees that you see there, the shrub that you see there, and the herbs. So now, being in class 7, you are supposed to know the definitions of trees, shrub, and the herb, and you will list again. So that will be called as activity number 2. That is the names of trees, number 1, number 2, the shrubs, and number 3, the herbs, right? So you will be again writing some very common trees that you see around, that you see in the forest, then the kind of the shrubs that you normally see there, and the herbs. So this you will be really surprised that how the nature has adjusted everyone, and everyone gets the oxygen there. And you might have noticed whenever you might have visited any forest. And we are blessed to have a Allen forest near in Kanpur, and you can very well, you might have seen also that how various layers are present in the forest that comprises the various strata, and believe me, it is these strata that helps in doing the work of purification of water. So when you have to deeply think that how is that the water when falls on the trees and comes to the shrub, and then to the herbs, and then to the you see a layer of so many plants, that is plants and trees, which is the remnants of them, that is falling down, and then the decomposer, they decompose, and that is also big layer, okay, and you consider it as a very important layer, and we call it as humus, which is enriching the soil, and even you in the list you might have noted that we require a lens also, we require a knife also. So it is for this last strata that you require these all instruments to know what exactly is present in that humus, in that layer where the decayed leaves have fallen and that they have already decayed because of the activity of so many decomposers. So again, in the list, please include the name of decomposers. So what is the list that you are making? The name of trees, right? Number 2, the names of shrubs. Number 3, the names of herbs, and the basic down the layer, the most important, who is creating that layer are the decomposers. So you should know the name of those and those microorganisms which are considered which are called as decomposers. So now look at this slide, children. The very first thing is the definition of forest. Wow, what exactly it is? A natural habitat. So you should know what actually is the habitat. It is a dwelling unit, habitat, and the place where you get the food and the shelter. So these two words is very important. Apart of this, the food, shelter, and you have a companion. When we call it as a companion also, food, shelter, and companion, we also call it as that is a complete habitat, or also called as a niche. That we'll be studying in the later classes. Now, so you now understood what is forest and the various animals and plants present there. Now, let's make the third definition of forest. Wow, what exactly it is? A natural habitat. So you should know what actually is the habitat. It is a dwelling unit, habitat, and the place where you get the food and the shelter. So these two words is very important. Apart of this, the food, shelter, and you have a companion. When we call it as a companion also, food, shelter, and companion, we also call it as that is a complete habitat, or also called as a niche. That we'll be studying in the later classes. Now, so you now understood what is forest and the various animals and plants present there. Now, let's make the third activity is the kind of common animals that we see normally in the forest. You can see that they have given the name here, lion, tiger, elephant, monkey, deer, but then please try to add something more that you might have seen. So this is the list already given here, and you will also do the work of pasting the way the pictures have been pasted. Please try to paste those animals which are not present here and has been seen by you, and you are very fascinated to look those animals. Okay, children? So that will give a more the vocabulary for the names of animals will increase. Right now, coming to the number of activity has increased to 4. Let's come to the next one, that is a common type of plants that we see in the forest. Again, you know that when talking about the plants, they are again trees, shrubs, and herbs. Right, children? So you will be categorizing them in the same fashion and make the big list. Here so many name of trees are given: teak, bamboo, sal, sesame. But then again, you are adding something new that you might have seen, that your parents might have told, or your grandparents might have told you, and the importance of them. That is something very important, right? So name of trees, it will be better that you write the importance of each. Teak for making the furnitures, bamboo for making again furnitures and so many special things that you are seeing, the sofa set and all, isn't it? Fig that you eat, isn't it? So please try to see that for every plant, for every tree. So you are mentioning the importance of each tree. That will be really good for your knowledge. Similarly, you're going to do for the names of shrubs. Name of the shrubs, they are also very important for our life, and you can write the name and in front of them the importance of them. Similarly, you're doing for the herbs, grasses, climbers, and the creepers. There are so many climbers which are very useful. There are so many creepers which are very useful. Due to Corona, everybody knows about the a very common kind of climber. What is that? I hope everyone knows. So the climber that I'm talking about, everybody knows during the time of Corona, and that is Giloy. Every house, everybody has used it, isn't it? So that means you should be aware of the names of the shrubs, the herbs, the grasses, the climbers, the creepers. Make the nice list of it and write the importance if possible, right? So this is today's work. Now, coming to the homework part. So finally, what is that we have learned today? Will be in a form of homework or your assignment. So it is basically three things. Number one is list of equipments needed to visit a forest. That will be first one. Second is list of animals seen in a forest that normally you see. Please try to add more animals which are not commonly seen, not in the textbooks, or that is specially seen by you. Third is type of plants. Among the plants, please categorize separately as trees, shrubs, herbs, and also try to include climbers and creepers also. And also write